Hello, welcome to Deathlock 73's video blog. Today's topic is actually a request from a friend, my boy Tony, who I've known for at least the last 3.5, 4 years. Wanted me to talk about the impact that BJJ has had on my life. Both Tony and I are latecomers to the sport. Myself 6.5 years ago, him about 4. But for both of us, the journey of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has put us on, or the journey, has changed our lives and impacted our lives immensely. Nothing I've ever done has been as transformative as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was sort of a gym rat, not out of want or need, but just out of necessity. I spent a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time around weights, but I was still wrestling. I was still a pretty active wrestler. I was wrestling almost every weekend, being a weekend warrior. Still sort of trying to make it in the pro wrestling world, but I wanted to do it on my own terms, which wasn't going to happen. One day I ran into a buddy of mine from high school, Aaron, and he told me he was taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was always intrigued by Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've watched the UFC since its first pay-per-view back in 1993. Not an active fan, but I've known about it and I've watched it, and I knew who Royce Gracie was. I knew who Ken Shamrock was, Kimo Leopold, all those guys back in the beginning. But because of the pro wrestling, I really never pursued it. Aaron said to join him one day, and I did, and it was probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. BJJ training, if you allow it to get inside of you, it will change your life. It will change who you are for the better. Increase confidence. There's not an area of my life that the confidence that Jiu-Jitsu has given me, that there's not an area that confidence doesn't manifest. Business, friendships, relationships. I mean, everything that every relationship I have, every dealing that I have, I come into it with more confidence. I've made a lot of friends through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of good people. The reasoning is, when you start in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it really, I would liken it what I would assume would be boot camp for the Marines, where they break you down and then build you back up. When you start Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you are humbled, and you are humbled quickly. But if you're a trooper and you soldier on, man, it will absolutely transform your life. Before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I've always been a bigger guy, but chubbier more than muscular in my view. Over the last 6 months, 8 months, I've lost about 70 pounds. Jiu-Jitsu was the catalyst for that. Jiu-Jitsu is what started that. That was, to be fair, it was 10 days in Brazil, where I was training twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and no air conditioning, and I lost 18 pounds in 3 days. But that's neither here or there. I continued it because I noticed the difference, that I could move better, that I felt better when I was on the mats. Jiu-Jitsu is the reason I don't go out and, I was never a big partier, but Friday nights I don't go out drinking at all, because I got to train on Saturday morning. Jiu-Jitsu becomes the reason as to why I live clean. I want to perform on the mats, and I want, but more importantly, I want to get better. I want to be the best practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu I can be, and I'm not going to do that by staying fat. I'm not going to do that by eating junk food. I'm not going to do that by going out and getting hammered. It's just, that's not going to improve the person I am. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has absolutely improved the person I am and improved the core person that I am. I'm not going to speak for Tony, but Tony will attest to the same kind of transformative power of the sport. You can call it a martial art, but Tony has a special relationship with that because it's his kids. It's something he can connect with his kids with as well. It's the best decision I've ever made. If you've ever thought about getting into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I highly recommend it. I've had a few instructors over the years, very good people, all of them. From my first instructor, Kyle and Jude, to Charles McCarthy, Matt Welch, Dieter, Wolf, and who I call my jiu-jitsu soulmate, Manny Soares. I've been with Manny for the last 3.5 years. He's been my master, and I don't ever foresee having another one. He's my guy. But he's a great man, and he's a great teacher, but even more, he's a great man, a better friend. And that's what you get when you get into jiu-jitsu. You're getting another family, another set of friends that are good people. So I highly recommend it. It changed my life. It could change yours if you're looking for a change. If you're happy with your life, it could still help you. There's nothing wrong with knowing how to get out of a bad situation. For women, it is the most important martial art. It's the most important training you could ever do. Every woman needs to know how to either escape from being on her back, or do damage while on her back. It's very, very useful. Everything that you learn is practical and can be used in the street as well as, on the mats as a sport. So, I could actually talk about jiu-jitsu and how much it's changed my life and impacted my life. Everything I have in my life is because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My job, my friends, my house. Everything that I have is because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and therefore I owe it a lot, and I recommend highly that you try it. If you'd love to try it, please join me and Tony and all the guys over at Jocko. We train. I'm there at least 4 days a week, but I'm there sometimes twice a day on certain days. But give it a shot. It'll change your life. And I've met a lot of cool people. So it's basically my take on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like I said, I could sit here and talk about it all day, but I don't know how long that'll take to upload the video. So until tomorrow, or until later, till I get another lightning bolt idea or another request from a friend, you can always email me or ask me any question at deathlock73@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment here, or my Facebook or Twitter. So until then, I've been saying, you know what, stay classy for the last for all my sign-offs, but that really doesn't fit what I'm trying to do here. I'm gonna come up with some kind of a sign-off that really encompasses what I'm trying to accomplish with these videos. So for now, I'm just gonna say goodbye, and I'll talk to you guys later.